This is a little bit of a different walk. It's a nostalgia walk. It's a 90s memory lane walk. You can do this walk outside or inside on a treadmill or walking pad. Start out at an easy warm-up pace. I'm still going to cue you on the walk, but we're also going to kind of lose ourselves and try to make time fly. There'll be a bell at the halfway point. It's going to be a gradual build. Follow the beat. So when I was newly married in the 90s, sometimes when I wanted my husband to come to bed, I would pick up the bedroom extension and disconnect him from that dial-up session. Remember when we could just do that, boop, hang up, and the connection was broken? The internet was new and it was so fascinating. Remember that horrible dial-up screeching? Getting online sounded like a robot being murdered and it took forever. And then someone like me would pick up the phone and the connection broke. Photos loaded one line at a time. And You Got Mail was so exciting. Not like now when I have 50,000 unread emails in my Gmail. And somewhere in that era, I was teaching step aerobics in my cousin-in-law's garage to some of the best music of the 90s. Pick up the pace a little. It's a comfortable, steady walk. Shoulders are loose. Arms are swinging naturally. So do you remember going to Blockbuster on a Friday night? It was a ritual, and we'd walk the aisles forever, trying to get there before every copy of that good movie was gone. All the new releases were rented. We'd find an empty case and go up to the front desk and ask if someone had returned it. And then I never got my movies in on time, so I always had to pay late fees. Be kind, rewind was our slogan. And I don't know if you remember the VHS drama with the VCR. We'd eat the tape, we'd record over something important, or we'd set the timer wrong and record 2 hours of nothing. I think programming my microwave now is hard, but I can't even remember how I would program that VCR. And the movies were they were so different and so fun, and just some of the biggest hits ever. Titanic, everyone saw that one. And some people saw it 5 times. I felt it was kind of meh. I know, don't hate me. Like, why is he giving her the door and not saving himself? He barely knows her. Save yourself, dude. Or Jurassic Park, and the dinosaurs looked so real. It was scary, but it was awesome. I watched it through my fingers. And Clueless. Alicia Silverstone was so perfect in that. My favorite quote is, "Daddy, some people lost all their belongings. Don't you think that included athletic equipment?" Pick up a little bit of pace now. It's briskis. That's not even a word. Brisk-ish. Like you're trying to get to Blockbuster before every copy of the good movie is gone. Of course, we can't forget The Matrix. Where those special effects were so cool. They wore those black coats. I don't know if they were bending time or slow motion, where they would do that weird thing and the bullets would fly over them really slowly. Made everyone wonder if we were living in a simulation like The Matrix. And sometimes I still feel that way. And Scream, scary but funny. Hold on to your steady pace. It's brisk enough to feel like a real walk. And back then we had appointment TV, which means you watched it when it aired. There was no streaming, no pausing it, and no binging an entire series. There was no, I'll watch it later, unless you taped it, which we went through that, how hard that was. If you missed it, you waited for a rerun. Some of the biggest shows: Friends, Seinfeld, ER, X-Files, Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place, Fresh Prince. They had actual cliffhangers, and there were so many episodes each season. Unlike 8 to 10 for Apple. We had commercial breaks so we could do dishes or do some chores in between. And then we'd all talk about the episodes the next day. There was no spoiler warnings because everybody was supposed to have watched it. And if you didn't watch it, well, then you found out what happened. Music in the 90s was really awesome and so diverse. Remember, we would tape songs off the radio and we'd sit there with your finger on record and pause and then waiting for the song that you wanted to come on. And then the DJ would talk over the intro when the song finally did play, or he would cut off the end. And we'd be so mad because that was our one shot at getting that song. We made mixtapes. And back then, the song order mattered. We'd write the track list by hand and trying to make it look cooler than it was. And this was before iPods, before playlists, and before everything was just there at our fingertips. Walk a little faster now. Add some pep to your step. It's like your favorite song finally came on the radio. Yes, and even before iPods, I had a Walkman. And then we had a little cassette adapter that we put in the car. And we had to use a pencil to rewind the tape. And then, oh my God, Columbia House. 12 CDs for a penny, or whatever ridiculous deal they were offering. Maybe it was 10 cents by then. I don't remember. And then suddenly you owed them your firstborn and they would never stop collecting from you. Remember that? We'd forget to send back that no thanks card. Get that mystery CD that you never wanted. But that's how all our big CD collections happened anyway. A bunch of stuff we never wanted. Stay with that pace. Follow the beat. Immerse yourself in the 90s. Then after the Walkman was the Discman. That was a portable CD player. Felt like it skipped if we stomped too hard when we walked. Remember we had those CD binders in the car? Our whole music library was zipped into that one gigantic case that was so easy to steal, but we had to take it with us everywhere. And back then, MTV actually played music videos. And they had shows like TRL, Making the Video, Unplugged, and VH1 had my favorite show, which is Pop-Up Video, the little bubbles with random facts that pop up all over them. They had shows like Behind the Music, the rise and fall and comeback of every single band that we used to love. Stay with that pace. Let those arms help you. Let the music move you. And 90s music was all over the place. We had Nirvana and Pearl Jam on one side, Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys on the other, Sir Mix-a-Lot, TLC, Alanis, No Doubt, Whitney, Mariah, Janet, Liz Phair, and of course Madonna reinventing herself all over again, and again, and again. And somehow all that music belonged to the same decade. Stay with that pace. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. So much variety. Because I like big butts and I cannot lie. And I like good songs and I cannot lie. I wasn't a big Nirvana and Pearl Jam fan back then. Or Spice Girls. Now if you drifted slower with your pace, gently pick it back up. You're going to walk to the beat. Roll through your feet. Most of the 90s, I think, was like riding around in our car with our one big giant CD binder next to a physical map or a Thomas guide. Because before GPS, getting anywhere was so much harder than it is now. Like my internal GPS now is broken because I rely on my phone so much. But back then, I knew where north, south, east, west was. And we had paper maps that were impossible to refold. We just roughly fold them like a fitted sheet and throw them into our glove boxes. And Thomas guides. So I had a Thomas guide for every Southern California county I drove often. I felt so cool. I felt so grown up. Or we'd stop at a gas station and they'd say, go until you see that big tree. And then eventually we graduated to MapQuest printouts, and that was so cool. Did you know that MapQuest still exists? They're on social media. They have a really funny social media account, but they also still exist as a website. It felt so advanced because we'd print the actual pages with the exact directions, and we'd highlight the turns, and then if we weren't paying attention, we'd drop those pages between our seats. We'd have to pull over, figure out where we were. We'd miss turns and we'd be sweating, and we never exactly knew where we were going back then. But somehow we made it. Stay with that pace, nice and strong. Feel the 90s? I don't know if you had a pager, but I had a pager because I had my own business and I felt so high tech. We would get paged and we'd go find a payphone. And then we'd have to know if something was important or if someone was being overly dramatic. 911 page was like, actual panic, I need you to call me back right now. Everything seemed to have a code back then. And technology was just so complicated. And it was such a little baby technology. Stay with that pace. We're still moving strong. We had floppy disks, and that's where that little square thing in the save icon came from. And even before that, back in the 80s, I used an 8-inch floppy disk, okay? And it was actually floppy and had do not bend on it. I was always running out of space. I thought fax machines were the most amazing invention ever. The paper would feed slowly through, and then it would come out on the other side. And then we'd dial the wrong number, like we'd dial someone's phone number, but it was their fax machine, and we'd get that horrible noise. And the experience of writing checks at a grocery store, if you've never done that, those were the days. When the person ahead of you pulled out a checkbook and you would just roll your eyes because you knew it was going to be a while. We would balance our checkbooks and write in those little registers, and I could never read my handwriting. Like, is that $5.68? Or is it, $568? Let's not forget smoking sections. They still had them. And they're in restaurants and airplanes. I don't understand smoking sections in airplanes, especially with just a little curtain. You're trapped for like 9 hours up in the air with just a little curtain separating you from the smoke. Slow it down just a little bit. We're still walking. Not a cool down. Disposable cameras. Remember those? We took 24 photos. Maybe 7 of them were good, but we couldn't see. Our thumb was in the frame. Terminator 2, Linda Hamilton's arm. She was so buff. OJ trial was everywhere. And the Tonya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan scandal, which nowadays probably wouldn't even be much of a scandal. The Hugh Grant scandal. And the Princess Diana media frenzy. An insane amount of things happened in the 90s. I got married, I had 2 kids. The 90s were full of hope and future, but also super inconvenient. Everything was so much harder. We're on that cusp of new tech, new way of life. But we remember it because we still had to touch real things. We held the map. We made the tape pushing those buttons. We walked through Blockbuster, which I kind of miss. We called the pager. Okay, the main part of the walk is done. If you want to hop off now, you can. If you want a short cool down, stay with me. We're going to slow our pace a little bit. to an easy walking pace. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Roll those shoulders back, big rolls. And roll those shoulders forward, big rolls. Relax your hands. Shake them out a little bit. Relax your face. Open up your mouth just a little bit to relax your jaw. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. And when you're done with this walk, see if you have a few minutes just to do a quick stretch. Release your calves. And I'll see you next time.
We're walking and talking. We're walking and talking. We're walking and talking. We're walking and talking with Helen Ryan.